What's cracking, Hope Nation? It's Kevin Hines with another round of Ask Kev, hashtag AskKev at youtube.com/Kevin Hines. Hit subscribe, click that bell, and if you like this video, share it with your friends, of course. These are questions I'm going to answer about what you're going through mentally. You have sent in your questions from far and wide. This is where I break it down and answer them all. Today is a very special Ask Kev series because we just got back from Kirtland Airforce Base, and to be frank, it's looking pretty grim out there. The Air Force is in a world of hurt right now because of a rash of suicides. 81 Air Force wide suicides already, and we are only in the month of August. This is pretty terrifying, guys. Our airmen are dying at a rate that is over twice the civilian population by their own hands. And we must stop. We must get back to zero suicides. We are in a dangerous place in society where suicide rates are going up significantly. 32% rise in suicides across America's population in the last 2 years. The mortality rate has gone down from suicide in the last 2 and 3 years. We're living in scary times. But here are some solutions you can find to better your brain health right here at AskKev. And we want to share with you some questions that the wonderful airmen at Kirtland Air Force Base shared with us last night after our speeches there. And they want to know a certain group of things that are going to help them. So Kirtland, shout out to Kirtland Air Force Base and all your airmen. And by the way, I'm not being insensitive by just calling airmen airmen. It is something that they hold dear, as the Marines call themselves Marines and not soldiers. Army calls each other soldiers. Navy calls each other sailors. Airmen are airmen no matter what background they come from. It's non-gender specific. So let's get right into the first question. Sir, thank you for coming to Kirtland Air Force Base. We are so glad to have you and that you're alive and here today. Here is my question. I have heard people say that the Netflix series 13 Reasons Why glorifies suicide. Have you seen the series? If so, do you agree with it? And do you agree with this assessment of it? And what do you think about the possible effect this can have on vulnerable teenagers? All right, guys, let's break it down. I've been asked to cover this topic before. We are well past season 1 of 13 Reasons Why on Netflix. I think even season 2 has already aired. It was one of the most popular shows on Netflix of the time. Here's the deal. In my opinion, Netflix's sole responsibility is to create media that entertains. It being one of the #1 shows on that channel, that online streaming channel platform, it did just that. It entertained. Sadly, it's my understanding that the producers of 13 Reasons Why asked clinical perspectives and then partially ignored them. That's their prerogative. It's their show. What I will say is this. There is no unequivocal proof that this show took lives. What there is proof of, tertiarily, is that people who saw the grim way that the young lady in the series took her life, in the way they did show, which I don't believe they should have, in my personal opinion. There was a rash of attempts by young ladies in a very similar or same manner in which the young lady did on the show. That said, that blame does not belong on anyone's shoulders. It is too much weight for anyone to bear. What we need to do is go to Netflix and say, how do we create media with you that is so positive, so help-seeking, so reinforcing of better mental well-being and brain pain and recovery help? How do we bring Netflix to the forefront of creating media that saves and changes lives forever? We did a BuzzFeed video a couple years ago that has been seen by over 350 million people worldwide across multiple platforms. It's been dropped, re-aired, reposted, even ripped from places and put somewhere else. And we're talking about a total of nearly 500 million views worldwide. It's a global video that we produced with BuzzFeed here at 17th Montgomery Productions, where my wife and I created the film Suicide: The Ripple Effect. We created a film where 300 people came to see the movie and said this movie saved their life. That is the positive ripple effect that media can have on people in pain. So I do believe that 13 Reasons Why was triggering. I do believe it was partially dangerous for young minds to see, but I also believe something bigger about society. This isn't a Netflix problem. This isn't Netflix's fault. We live in a society where making a show like this is simply okay to do. And that's where we've made the mistake. Stop blaming Netflix, stop blaming entertainment producers, and start looking at the root cause and effect that is going into damaging minds. Words and actions and things we see, hear, and touch have the power to do one of two things: damage and destroy, or help and heal. One thing we know about the brain is that violent video games, violent TV shows, sensationalized video games, sensationalized TV shows that show and glorify things like suicide, violence, homicide, gang activity, all of these things, they go into the minds of impressionable teens and adults, and they affect change in those minds. Your brain waves and brain patterns are changed based on what you see, hear, and touch. So if that's the case, your brain is very malleable. And when you hear storytelling that is effective in helping to change and save a life, when you hear storytelling that gives you the insight to do good, when you hear storytelling that helps you understand that you're going through brain pain and here are some tools, tips, and tricks to get to a better place, that can have a transformative effect on keeping you here. Our motto here at ASKKEV is be here tomorrow and every day after that. That is what we believe and that is what we know. Right? We understand that if you can find a way to live just these next 24 hours, if you can find a way just to exist, just to stay, to reach out to that Lifeline 1-800-273-8255 +1 for military. If you can find a way to text CNQR to 741-741, the crisis text line. That's our Conquer keyword, #ConquerPain. You'll see it right across the screen. If you can find a way, if you're international, to go to suicide.org, to find ways to stay alive, to find ways toward prevention, to keeping you safe, and to help Netflixes of the world create media that is for good, we'd all be the better for it. That's my assessment on the TV show. I hope you felt that it was helpful to you. Thank you to the airmen who delivered that question. I appreciate you to your core. And I'll be answering my next questions on the next round of ASKKEV for the military, specifically for Kirtland Airforce Base, but for airmen worldwide. So one thing I want you to do, make sure you hit that subscribe button that's going to be right about here. Click that bell right up there, and make sure that if you like this video, get those notifications turned on so you know when we're going to drop our next vid. Every Thursday and Saturday, a new vid is coming your way of the ASKKEV series, and we want you to fight the pain, to survive it at all costs. And if nobody else says it today, we love you, and we want you to stay. All right, guys, thank you for watching this round of ASKKEV. Really appreciate your time. Thank you, Kirtland Air Force Base, for all of your ingenuity and your effort to keep this country safe and the globe. And right now, we are going to go to a clinical perspective answering this question to Dr. April Forman, the Kevin and Margaret Hines Foundation's clinical director. So, Dr. Forman, take it away.
So, you know, as an expert in suicide, I get asked about 13 reasons why pretty often. And one of the things that I need to start with is by just acknowledging that science really doesn't know what causes suicidal thoughts and feelings, and we don't fully understand what causes suicidal behavior. Suicide has been the 10th leading cause of death and a leading cause of death for youth since long before Netflix, live streaming, social media, any of those things. And in the end of everything, media's job is about entertainment and about capturing our attention and about informing us. We really haven't put this much intensity and responsibility on ensuring that the public healthcare systems that take care of us are qualified and prepared to take care of us. We haven't put this much attention and responsibility on our public systems, like our elected officials, to fund good science about suicide and to fund good research and development about suicide care. I want Netflix to be responsible and helpful and life-affirming in the content that it produces, but at the end of the day, it's not Netflix's job to do that. That's really the job of our public health systems, and we really could be doing a lot better. If you want to help with that, you can reach out to your elected officials today at your state or national level, or even at your county or local level. Ask what your suicide strategies are where you live and how well those are funded and supported. Are the crisis care systems in your region getting support they need to provide crisis care? at the end of the day, it's just not Netflix's job to keep people alive. It's our job in public health, and we just have to ensure our public health system is ready.